Hello everyone, it's time for system test number 28. Finally time for 28. And you can tell because it's been a while since I actually said I would make the video, because apparently I have a tendency to not work well with time frames. Anyway, as you can see, we're starting off in front of the panel here. Everything is pretty much the same with the panel. The only difference really, there's some new wires coming out of the panel, and you'll see what those are for later. You can also see that the panel is mounted on a giant piece of particle board. This was horrible to fit in my car, by the way. And everything looks a lot cleaner. The wires all go behind it, so they're not exposed, and the forbidden spaghetti isn't everywhere. And Lowe's also didn't cut this straight, but I didn't notice that until after I set it up here. But it's fine. So next to the panel we have the Gamewell M46-28, the Sentry pull station. And then above that, for the strobe, I have a Simplex True Alert. I moved the True Alert from the bedroom to down here now. That's the 4904-9332. And that's a SmartSync strobe. And then for the horn, it used to be up there. It's now over here, sitting above a back box that is just kind of empty. And the reason that's there is because that's where the strobe would have gone, but I changed my mind. And that's the horn. That's actually a Simplex 4050. And yes, it is a 4050. I'm actually doing an AC horn on the system. And that's a 12 volt AC model 4050. And next to the horn, this is so cool. Next to the 4050, I have this. I have a big old red light. The glass on that actually used to be clear, but I used this method I found on a YouTube channel that of course I'll link in the description, but you can use it to dye glass, apparently. Even though you could buy red covers for these for like, I don't know, $14, but we're just going to ignore that. And that's all connected to a relay because that light runs off of 120 volts AC, and that relay is connected to the sync/lights circuit on the panel. And it's all, the light is actually just plugged in down here. But yeah, you'll see that flashing with the system when it's going off. It's very cool, kind of trippy. Moving on now to the back door slash garage here. I have next to the stairs the vintage BNG-1R. And I don't know about you, but I feel like this fits in really well with the stairs here. I don't know what it is. It's just got that kind of an industrial vibe, I guess. And then for the horn, next to the garage and the strobe, I have the Simplex 4904-9174 strobe, and that's set to SmartSync, so it's going to sync with the True Alert that's over there. And then I have another 4050, also a 12 volt model, and then I have another red light, but this one is actually different because this is a cluster of LEDs, and the cover for it is actually a frosted white, so it's like translucent, and the dye on it, or the red coloring at least, came out a little bit differently, so we'll see if that shows up on video. And then that's the same story, it's just connected to a relay. And then I also have the 2400, but it's not working at the moment, and I'll explain that later. Coming up the stairs, I still have that light there, and unlike all the other lights, well, the thing about this light is that it actually came with 120 volt AC bulbs, but I don't have those in it at the moment. I just have the 24 volt bulb in it. By the back door, I still have this T-bar, and then above that, I have a Federal Signal strobe with the with another 4050 next to it, and yeah, and then there's also another red light. And that's just a normal red light. All the incandescent lights have 60 watt bulbs in them. And then we're going to move on to the bedroom, which is a lot cleaner now. In the bedroom I have the RSG RMS1T that's rebranded by GE. And then above that I have the Gentex GXS. This is the, I think this is a second generation GXS. It actually sounds really cool when the strobe is charging. I'll have to show that to you guys at some point here. Then in the office I have the other T-bar still. And then above that I have a Pyrotronics remote strobe. I love these things. They're so cute. Just look at how cute it is. Very small. And then we move on to by the front door. I still have the BG-12, NBG-12. It's an NBG-12. Keep the angry comments. And then above it I have yet another 4050 and a Gentex Commander 3 remote strobe set to 15 candela. And then I have another light, but this one's different because it retains the clear glass like globe, but the actual light bulb itself is the red part. So that'll look a little bit different. So that's the system. Now let's go ahead and just get this show on the road here. And when I pull this down, you're going to notice something about it, and this is something, this is the last big surprise. This is something that I have worked for several years to actually accomplish, so I'm very proud of it. Here we go. It's in code 4.4. Isn't that so exciting? I actually managed to get 4.4 working on my panel. There's that. Of course it's out of focus, but you know, there's that strobe. And then I'll try to get the view of the strobes in SmartSync here too, but that might be a little difficult. I don't think anyone's ever actually done strobes that flash in 4.4 before. Try saying that 5 times fast. Silence that. So, how did I get code 4.4 to work on my panel? Well, I'll show you. Here's where the magic happens right here. Take a look at this. What this is a code 4.4 code wheel. I know, I actually found a 4.4 code wheel. How cool is that? And it's basically just sandwiched up against this switch so that the notches push the switch. And then it's attached to a little motor. And that motor is actually the part that I bought from China. And in a typical me fashion, this is all built on a standard blank wall plate. Eventually I'll get the proper wood to actually build that at some point. And this is of course the only bug with the panel so far. If it actually stops while the notch is pressing the button down, the alarm LED will be stuck on, but we could just fix that. So now let's pull the sentry. reset that. Where is it? There it is. Let's go ahead and we will put it in March time, and then I'm going to go pull the vintage BNG-1R. This sounds really satisfying because it makes a big thud. Listen to this. It has the world's strongest spring. Kind of alternating, it's funny. I love the way that sounds in March time. March time will always be my favorite. So now let's do code 3, and I will go outside, but I will keep my time outside brief because it's actually really cold outside and it's also dark. So we'll keep that brief, but we'll go ahead and pull the NBG-12, and then I'll just go outside immediately after pulling that. Push in, pull down. Put the shoes on. So we'll see how trippy this looks from out here. You can't really see it from out front, or honestly hear it all that well from out front. The best vantage point to see this is from out this window here, as you can see, which is really funny because you can't really see it, but my neighbor's house, like the only neighbor I have that can actually like probably see it, can see it pretty well. Anyway, so here's the back door. You can see the red light from out here. Not really all that loud out here, actually, surprisingly enough. Except down here, it's pretty audible down here, but even then. The thing about the 4050 is that it follows the same logic as the 4051, which is that if you tighten the volume screw all the way on it, it actually becomes the quietest alarm in your collection. that's that. Back inside we go. We'll go reset that. And listen to this. You can hear these relays clicking really loud. It's pretty cool. I really like that. Okay, I think that's pretty much it. I'm gonna put it in continuous now, of course, everyone's favorite. And I'm gonna go pull the RSGT bar so that I can get through the system in continuous in one swift motion. And then I'll say a few things and that'll be it for the video. Surprisingly, not that loud because of the quirk that they have with the volume screw. Go ahead and reset that. And then I think that's actually it for System Test 28. I know it might have been a little bit shorter just because that's kind of how it is when all the alarms are actually the same alarm. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm very pleased with the system and how it turned out. So, a number of things to note here, and hopefully I remember everything. This 4050 over by the front door here sounds awful, and that's because I don't really know what happened, but the mechanism for the horn got separated from the diaphragm, so it's not really hitting it in a thorough fashion. I have not put the i3 up anywhere yet. I might put it in the basement because realistically, a smoke detector anywhere in this upstairs part below the very top of the ceiling, I feel like wouldn't exactly be very effective. And I still haven't put up the annunciator anywhere. I need to buy some parts for it to come up with a new design for it. And what else? Oh, the heat detector I didn't put up there yet. And I'm probably not going to, or at least not for a while, because I don't actually plan on using the wood-burning stove. And the exit signs aren't up anywhere yet. Those I'm probably going to put up sometime before the next system test video. One more horrible thing that oh god. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that the 2400 wasn't working. I have no idea what I did wrong, but there's no power here. But there's power here, which is what it connects to. But as I'm sure you could guess, I can't figure that thing out because I thought for some reason that it would be a good idea to ditch the thermostat wire that I used. which was this stuff, which was actually color coded and, you know, shielded. Terrible idea. I had people tell me it was a bad idea and I didn't listen to them. They were right. I should have listened to them. Bad idea. So at some point between this video and the next one, I'm going to start replacing all of that wiring with the thermostat wiring again, because it's a mess. It's such a mess. I mean, look at it up there. Look at that. I can't figure that out. So I've learned from my mistakes. But yeah, I think that's it for this system test video. I hope you liked this video. I hope you were as pleased with this setup as I am, because honestly, this is just, I mean, 4.4 and these big red lights and 40/50s, I mean, come on. It's just awesome. Anyway, thanks for watching.